Hi everybody, my name is David and this is the Cartoon Fortress YouTube channel. I am so happy to be back with you guys. I've been gone for about a month and a half or so is the last time I posted a video, and I did post a message in the community tab on the channel, but I realized that a lot of people probably don't read those messages, so I just wanted to give a brief update as to where I was at. So my wife and I have undertaken a pretty extensive interior remodel on our home, and so I have had no access to my office. The collection has been all packed away, and as you can see here behind me, I've got and over here to the side, I've got the collection basically all the way back out, but please bear with me as I try and get back into kind of a regular routine of producing videos again. But I was very excited to get this video in particular made, and that has to do with in fact, I've got some titles still over here. Hang on one second. This has to do with the Warner Archive 4 for 44 sale. So the WB shop closed, and they've basically, Warner has basically moved the Warner Archive storefront over to Amazon, so they're kind of the ones that are managing it now. So you can still pick up Warner Archive titles, but the WB shop, as we have previously known it, is closed. So changing times. I know Warner has put a tremendous amount of effort into streaming, as have other big studios, and so we don't know the future of Warner Archive. We just don't at this point. I believe there's titles that have been announced or that will be announced through the end of this year, and then past that it's kind of unknown as to what they're going to be doing. So we need to enjoy these titles while we have them, while we have access to them, and with this excuse me, with this being the final 4 for 44 sale, I really wanted to take advantage and pick up a lot of the titles that I've been thinking about getting, some for quite a few years, and others have been more recently added to my list, but I just wanted to pick up while I had the chance to get them at such a great deal. So some of these well, I had an extra 15% off coupon that I was able to use, which was great. Now I placed my order on the first day of the sale, which was March 12th, excuse me, and it took about a month and a half for my order to arrive. So it was pretty intense there for a while. I was wondering, is my order going to come? Is it not? I couldn't get a hold of Warner Archive, and then luckily my friend Raquel, she had an email address that she reached out to them, and so I did so, and luckily heard back within a couple of hours from them, and they said that my order was still processing and would be delivered, and here we are. So I've got all the titles that I ordered, and I'm very excited to add these to the collection. So this is going to be kind of just with the sheer amount of titles we have here, this is just going to be a rapid fire, show you the title, give you the year, the runtime, and then we'll call it good. And I'm sorry for this cough. It's like I said, we've had construction going on, and there's been dust and debris and paint fumes and everything going on, and also the angle that I'm shooting at here, I know is not totally typical for me, but this is kind of the duct tape version of my channel right now. I just really want to get this video out. So let's go ahead and start here. First up, we have Jean Harlow, William Powell, Myrna Loy, and Spencer Tracy in The Libeled Lady. This comes highly recommended as a comedy title here. This is black and white, 98 minutes, and is from 1936. Next up, we have a recommendation from my good friend Cinema Dave. Definitely check out his channel if you haven't already. This is Spencer Tracy and Robert Ryan in Bad Day at Black Rock. This is from 1954 with a runtime of 81 minutes. Next up, we have James Caan and Alan Arkin in Freebie and the Bean. This comes recommended from Brian Sauer over at Just the Discs. And this is a 113-minute runtime with a release year of 1974. All right, next up we have the great Humphrey Bogart and the beautiful Lauren Bacall. This is Dark Passage. I know I have more than one Bogart and Bacall title in this haul, so stay tuned. This is black and white, 106 minutes, and is from 1947. Next up, we have a couple of musicals. First, we have Good News, starring June Allison and Peter Lawford. This is from 1947 with a runtime of 93 minutes. And another musical here with Marlon Brando, Gene Simmons, Frank Sinatra, and Vivian Blaine. We have Guys and Dolls from 1955 with a runtime of 149 minutes. So longer run. I didn't realize this film was that long. All right, next up, this has come recommended about 7,000 times. This is William Powell and Myrna Loy in The Thin Man. Spoiler alert, I did pick up the sequel as well, which I don't know where it's at in the stack. And they also released recently the third film, so I'll need to pick that one up as well. But here we have the first film in the series of The Thin Man. Runtime of 91 minutes, black and white, and is from 1934. All right, next up, we have George Sanders, Herb Hatfield, Donna Reed, Angela Lansbury, Peter Lawford, Lowell Gilmore, and Richard Fraser in The Picture of Dorian Gray. This is black and white, and it says here that it's got color inserts, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Let me know down in the comments if you know what that's referring to. And this has a runtime of 110 minutes. Next up, we have the great Henry Fonda and Maureen O'Hara, both of which I love. This is a Delmer Daves production of Spencer's Mountain. This is a runtime of 118 minutes and is from 1963. Next up, as promised, more Bogart and Bacall. This is The Big Sleep from 1946. Black and white with a runtime of 114 minutes. All right, now this film I know is a longer runtime. This is Samuel Goldwyn's film starring Myrna Loy, Frederick March, Dana Andrews, Teresa Wright, and Virginia Mayo. This is The Best Years of Our Lives. And yeah, the runtime is 170 minutes, black and white, and a release year of 1946. Next up, we're getting into the sci-fi kind of creature feature type film here. We have the green slime. I love the cover on this one. Give you a closer look there. This is a runtime of 90 minutes and is from 1968. All right, next up, we have a hearty recommendation. I've had this recommended a few times, but Damn Fool Idealistic Crusade. If you're not following his channel, he has amazing technical savvy with film and Blu-ray, and has so much to offer on the subject. So definitely go check out his channel. But this is the Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Hazel Court, and Robert Urquhart. I'm definitely butchering that name. This is The Curse of Frankenstein. So this is the 2-disc edition that has the main feature on disc 1, and then we have a whole second disc of special features, which is kind of abnormal for Warner Archive Usually their releases are single disc, but a lot of great extra features on this one. Runtime of 83 minutes, and this is from 1957. All right, next up we have Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, which is always about to the death. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? This is 133 minutes and is from 1962. Next up, Gregory Peck, one of my favorite actors of all time, Eva Marie Saint in The Stalking Moon. Always happy to add westerns to the collection. This is 109 minutes and is from 1969. Next up, this is just one film in this franchise, and I'm excited to have this kind of be the entry point. I haven't seen any of these, but this is Tarzan's Greatest Adventure. Greatest or great? Yeah, Greatest Adventure. This is a runtime of 87 minutes and is from... Oh, the year is hiding from me on this one. Sorry, this is 1959. So excited to kind of get a taste for the Tarzan films. So let me scoot that stack back and move on here. All right, next up we have Vivian Leigh and Marlon Brando in A Streetcar Named Desire. Black and white with a runtime of 125 minutes. And this is from definitely not 1992. Is that a misprint on here? They have the year as 1992, which is obviously wrong. I don't know if that's when rights were renewed. Anyways, I don't have the year for this one right off the top of my head. This is in black and white. Yeah, 125 minutes. No idea on the year. So A Streetcar Named Desire. Next up, we have I believe this is the 1970s. Yeah, 1978. Runtime of 156 minutes. Kind of an all-star cast movie here. This is The Swarm. I love the kind of nature turning against humanity kind of movie, kind of setup, and this seems to fit the bill for that. But yeah, just a big cast, big runtime. Really interested to get into this one. So that's The Swarm. Next up, we have another Western. This is Robert Mitchum, the great Robert Mitchum, Barbara Bel Geddes, and Robert Preston in Blood on the Moon. This is a runtime of 88 minutes and is from 1948. Next up, we have Margaret Sullivan and James Stewart, or Jimmy Stewart as we know him. This is an Ernst Lubitsch production. This is The Shop Around the Corner, which was the source material or inspiration for You've Got Mail, the Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan film. This is black and white with a runtime of 99 minutes, and this is from 1940. Next up, we have a horror film. This is more kind of straight up horror, which is really the only one of this kind in my haul here. This is Night School. This is 89 minutes and is from 1980. So looking forward to getting into this. Again, really the only straight up horror film that I picked up. Next up, we have a Sidney Pollack film. Very excited to own this one. This is the great Robert Redford in Jeremiah Johnson. Runtime of 116 minutes, released in 1972. All right, next up we have River Phoenix in Running on Empty. And we have Christine Lottie, Judd Hirsch, Martha Plimpton, and River Phoenix. So great cast here. This is from 1988 with a runtime of 116 minutes. Next up, we have Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis, as well as Natalie Wood and Blake Edwards' The Great Race. I love the cover on this one, and this looks to be a lot of fun. Runtime of 160 minutes, and this was released in 1965. I kind of get... I might be off base here, but I kind of get It's a Mad World vibes from this a little bit. Haven't seen this film, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Looks like a lot of fun. All right, and here we have the sequel that I was talking about with William Powell and Myrna Loy, After the Thin Man. This is 112 minutes and was released in 1936. Next up, another sci-fi kind of creature feature. So we have, where's the cast here? James Craig, and then it's written, produced, and directed by Burt L. Gordon. This is the Cyclops, with a runtime of 66 minutes, so nice short and sweet here. And this is from 1956. And I don't know if I said this is black and white. Next up, another one of my favorite actors of all time, Sidney Poitier with the great Shelley Winters in A Patch of Blue. This is 105 minutes and is from 1965. All right, next we have Kathy Bates and Jennifer Jason Leigh. I was really inspired to get this one because of how much I love Kathy Bates' performance in Misery. That's one of my favorite, not only kind of horror films, but one of my favorite films of all time. I love her performance, and then obviously James Caan. But this is Kathy Bates and Jennifer Jason Leigh in Dolores Claiborne. This is 131 minutes and is from 1995. Very, very excited to see this. I'm a huge Kathy Bates fan, and just really looking forward mainly to her performance. But I'm excited to see what Jennifer Jason Leigh brings to the table, and the rest of the cast here. So very, very excited for this one. Another one that I'm really excited for, a classic that I've never seen. This is Charles Boyer, Ingrid Bergman, and Joseph Cotten in Gaslight. This is packed with two versions of the film. So the 1944 version, which is black and white and 114 minutes, and then the 1940 version, black and white, 84 minutes. So I actually had no idea that there were multiple versions, so excited to check both of those out. And yeah, so these, so 1940 and 1944, looking forward to that. And next up, we have a blaxploitation film here. This is Cleopatra Jones, starring Tamra Dobson as Cleopatra Jones. This is a runtime of 89 minutes and is from 1973. This is definitely a blind spot for me, the blaxploitation films. But I'm excited to get my start here with Cleopatra Jones. And then I do have one other in this haul that is of the same genre, or whatever you want to call it. All right. So that does it for that stack. Let's move right along here. And the next one here comes from a hearty recommendation from Daniel with the Cobwebs podcast and now YouTube channel. This is Sunday in New York. And this has Cliff Robertson, Jane Fonda, and Rod Taylor. Is 105 minutes, and this is a 1963 release. So really looking forward to this. Maybe something a little more lighthearted, a 1960s sex comedy, which is always it's always fun to kind of watch some more lighthearted, funny, kind of romantic comedy type films. So definitely looking forward to that. Next up, we have George Sanders and Barbara Shelley in Village of the Damned. This is a runtime of 77 minutes, and let's see, this is from 1960. All right, next up we have another musical. This is with Gene Kelly, Van Johnson, and Sid Charisse. This is Brigadoon, runtime of 108 minutes, and this is from 1954. Just really looking forward to getting my feet wet with some musicals, and this seems like a great way to go. All right, next up is the second blaxploitation film that I picked up here. This is Superfly, with a runtime of 91 minutes, and this is from 1972, starring Ron O'Neal and Carl Lee, as well as Julius Harris, Sheila Fraser, and Charles McGregor. So definitely looking forward to watching this one as well, with Cleopatra Jones. Maybe I'll make that a double feature. Next up, we have the original. I grew up on the 90s movies, but this is Spencer Tracy, Joan Bennett, and Elizabeth Taylor. This is Father of the Bride. Runtime of 93 minutes. This came out in 1950. Next up, another Robert Mitchum film. Always a great time with Robert Mitchum. And then we have Eleanor Parker. This is Home from the Hill, with a runtime of 150 minutes, so another longer one. And this was released in 1959. More Robert Mitchum is always a great thing for the collection. Next up, kind of an oddity within my haul here. This is an animated film, runtime of 95 minutes from 1982. This is The Flight of Dragons. And I'm sorry, Brian, if I'm getting this wrong, but I think it was a recommendation from Brian Sauer from Just the Discs on this one as well. But this looks to be something maybe akin to like the Rankin Bass animated films, like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, kind of that style maybe. But I'm really looking forward to this. I'm a huge animation buff, especially classic animation, but had to add this one, especially at the price that I was able to pick it up for. So The Flight of the Dragons. All right, next up we have House of Wax. Really excited to add this to the collection. This is interesting. Okay, so we have House of Wax, which has a runtime of 88 minutes. But then we have Mystery of the Wax Museum, which is 77 minutes. So another spoiler alert here. That I picked up Mystery of the Wax Museum. Let me see if it's anywhere near in my stacks here. Here we go. All right, so here is, well, okay, so this is the Mystery of the Wax Museum. What's the runtime on this? So this is 78 minutes. Mystery of the Wax Museum here is 77 minutes. Let me know down in the comments, is this film added on here as an extra feature? Now, I know there's extensive restoration work, and I'm very, very excited. In fact, this is probably one of the top 3 titles in this haul that I'm the most excited for. And this was taken on by the UCLA Film and Television Archive, as well as the Film Foundation and the George Lucas Family Foundation. This is a runtime of 78 minutes and is from 1933. So let's see. Yes, so Mystery of the Wax Museum, 1933. So I'm really interested now to kind of understand what version of this film is included on as an extra here on House of Wax. Now the Mystery of the Wax Museum comes recommended from Damn Fool Idealistic Crusade. If you have not visited his channel, he has amazing technical savvy when it comes to film and Blu-rays and just such extensive knowledge on the things that he talks about. He's well worth following. But I picked this up because of such a big recommendation from him. But this is really, really interesting. So I want to look into this more and see what the relationship between the films is, and again why this is included on here. But wow, had no idea. And the cool thing about this House of Wax is there's a 3D version that's actually included here. So if you have obviously a 3D capable TV, that could be a really fun time. Unless, I don't know if they include a pair of 3D glasses in here or not. But anyways, so sorry, that kind of blindsided me. I didn't realize that was included. So yeah, we have House of Wax and Mystery of the Wax Museum, which again I'm incredibly excited about. So we'll set those there. Next up, we have Randolph Scott and Joel McCrea in another Western here. We have Ride the High Country with a runtime of 94 minutes, and this is from 1962. Next up, we have Alan Ladd, Edward G. Robinson, another one of my favorites, and Joanne Drew in Hell on Frisco Bay. This is a runtime of 98 minutes, and this came out in 1955. Next up, this is a director that I'm new to. So this is directed by Christopher Guest, and I just wanted to kind of pick a starting point here, and so I went with A Mighty Wind. Again, directed by Christopher Guest. This is a runtime of 92 minutes, and let's see, this came out in looks like 2003. I know Best in Show is talked about a lot. Waiting for Guffman, I believe, is the other. It's kind of those three, including this, that are talked about, and so I'm really looking forward to watching this. I love a good comedy, so we'll see what this has to offer, and then if I like this, then I'll definitely be picking up the other two. So, A Mighty Wind, which I believe is kind of a mockumentary. I believe that's his style here with these films. Anyways, next up we have Richard Dreyfuss and Marsha Mason in Neil Simon's The Goodbye Girl. So I assume this is based off of a stage play, seeing as it has Neil Simon's name attached. And this is 110 minutes. And the year on this is 1977. All right, next up we have Jack Lemmon and Anne Bancroft in The Prisoner of 2nd Avenue. This is a runtime of 98 minutes and with a release year of 1975. And last in this stack, we have, trying to see, so this is a Humphrey Bogart film. This is Passage to Marseille. And this is black and white, 109 minutes, and is from 1944. So great cast here. We have Claude Rains, Michelle Morgan, Sidney Greenstreet, and Helmut Dantine, and Peter Lorre. So really looking forward to this. Really great cast, and Bogart. You can't go wrong, really. All right, moving on to our last stack. Thank you so much for sticking around with me here. The last stack, and then we'll go over the 4 bonus titles. So this is starring James Arness as The Thing. This is The Thing from Another World. I'm a huge fan of John Carpenter's film The Thing. It's one of my probably top 10 films of all time, if we're being totally honest. And And I did see this many, many years ago on TCM, but I'm really looking forward to revisiting it. Yeah, so The Thing from Another World, black and white, 87 minutes, and a release year of 1951. Just checking where we're at time-wise here. I do apologize. All right, and for the cough, gosh. Next up here, we have Cat on a Hot Tin Roof with Elizabeth Taylor, Paul Newman, and Burl Ives. Runtime of 108 minutes, and this is from 1958. Next up, another Jack Lemmon film with Lee Remick, and this is In Days of Wine and Roses, black and white, 117 minutes, and this is from 1962. Next up, I got this because I just looked, I think it looks like a ton of fun. This is The Gumball Rally. Let me know if you know anything about this film. I was really drawn to it. This is 107 minutes, and it has from 1976. I believe Heath from Serial at Midnight had this in one of his hauls, and it just really caught my eye. So The Gumball Rally. Next up, I believe this is another... Yeah, so the screenplay by Neil Simon here. We have Walter Matthau and George Burns in The Sunshine Boys. So I believe this is another stage play adaptation, which I know always makes Cinema Dave happy. He's definitely a stage play guy, so I believe this was a recommendation from him. So thanks, Dave. And this is a runtime of 111 minutes and is from 1975. All right. Next up, we have Howard Hughes, a Howard Hughes production here. Jane Russell in Underwater. So we've also got, let's see here on the cast, co-starring Gerald Rowland and Laurie Nelson and Richard Egan, with Robert Keith and Joseph Kalea. And this is an RKO picture, 99 minutes, and is from 1954. Another one that caught my eye, and I've seen this one talked about a few times and just really wanted to add that one to the collection. Next up, Gary Cooper, Audrey Hepburn, and Maurice Chevalier. All you have to say is Audrey Hepburn, and I'm in. This is directed by Billy Wilder. This is Love in the Afternoon. Black and white, 130 minutes, and is from 1957. All right, next up we have quite the cast here. Dana Andrews, Rhonda Fleming, George Sanders, Howard Duff, Thomas Mitchell, Vincent Price, John Barrymore Jr., Sally Forrest, James Craig, and Ida Lupino. This is While the City Sleeps. Black and white with a runtime of 99 minutes, and this is from 1956. I'm so intrigued. I mean, listening to the cast, and really, really excited to check this out. Also, whoops, behind me on this side, I have the Ida Lupino set from Kino Lorber that I still need to get into, but very excited to add this one to the collection. All right, next up we have Harry Belafonte, Inger Stevens, Mel Ferrer in The World, the Flesh, and the Devil. This is black and white, 95 minutes, and is from 1958. All right, just a few more here. We have Kirk Douglas, Lauren Bacall, and Doris Day in Young Man with a Horn. This is black and white, 112 minutes, and is from 1950. This is one of the last ones that I added to my cart, and I'm really glad I did. I'm really intrigued by this film. All right, next up we have the original 1973 classic. This is a made-for-TV film. Excuse me, this is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Runtime of 74 minutes, and this is from 1973. All right, next up we have a three film collection, actually. This is That's Entertainment, the complete collection. Now, full disclosure, this was not a title that was on sale, but I wanted to add it to the cart because it's one I've been wanting to pick up. This is a fairly new release that they've put out on Blu-ray, but really looking forward to this. So this is it's a mix of black and white and color. The three films respectively are 135 minutes, 129 minutes, and 113 minutes. So really looking forward to diving in on these. And last, aside from our new release titles here, we have again Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall in Ernest Hemingway's To Have and Have Not. This is a runtime of 100 minutes, and this is from 1944. So that does it. That's the sale haul. I know I could have bought a few more titles, maybe. No, that was probably way more than I should have picked up. But I'm really excited to add all of these to the collection. Sad to see the 4 for $44 sale go, but I guess business decisions have to be made, and hopefully the future of Warner Archive is bright. I know for me, I will always vote with my wallet with them, and love the restorations that they do on these discs, and always looking forward to growing my collection with these guys. So let's move on to our last four titles here. Now these again are nothing to do with the sale. I picked these up on Amazon, and these are new releases. A couple of these are animation titles. First up here we have Thundar the Barbarian. This is the complete series. Total runtime of 462 minutes, and just really looking forward to adding this to the animation collection. I love these series that just call me back to my childhood and watching Cartoon Network and Boomerang back in the day, and very excited to add this one. Next up, we have another animation title. This one's a little bit more obscure in terms of the animation titles, but this is Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space, the complete series. This is 352 minutes, and yeah, another great, fun, quirky animation title to add to the collection, which is always a good thing in my book. Next up, this is another recommendation from Damn Fool Idealistic Crusade. This is with Fay Ray and Lee Tracy. This is Dr. X. This has both the two-strip Technicolor version, color version, and then the black and white version. The color version and the black and white version, of course, will share the same runtime, which is 76 minutes, and this is from 1932. So this is another restoration that I'm really looking forward to, just like I am with the Mystery of the Wax Museum. So a hearty recommendation from Damn Fool Idealistic Crusade is an instant recommendation for me as well, because he has great taste in film, and just really looking forward to checking this one out. And last but not least, this is a very new release. In fact, I think this is out just a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. This is starring Betty Hutton and Howard Keel. This is Annie, Get Your Gun. Runtime of 107 minutes, and this is from 1950. All right, everybody, that does it. Just glad to get this video made. I'm so sorry for the coughing, and thank you for getting through this with me. Just wanted to showcase the titles that I picked up from the sale. If you are new to this channel and you like talking film and film collecting, I invite you to hit that subscribe button if that's something that you'd like to do. Also hit the like button and the bell icon. That will notify you when I upload new videos in the future. And until next time, which hopefully will be very soon, my name is David. This is the Cartoon Fortress YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful day.